Okay. Oh, and then the other thing that I always inevitably forget is to share my screen with you. Here we go. Okay.
Yep.
There we go. Can you see now?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, so great news. When you set up a Google Grant the right way, you will often get quite a bit of spending right off the bat. So you'll notice that after we set some of this up, your Google Grant began spending on October 19th, which I believe was right after our last call. And you can see on the first day here, are you able to see this right here? There we go.
Yes, yes.
October 20th, it spent $13. And there's kind of a warm up to a Google Grant. And just for anybody else who's listening as well, they don't spend everything in one day. And most of the time, they don't spend everything in a week. Like, you have to build this up, and that's what we've been talking about. You have to build up content. But if you do the keyword targeting right, and you have large enough audiences, right, large enough keywords, well, here we go. Day 3, you spent $121, and remember, the most you can spend of the Google Grant is $329 in a day. Okay, so then yesterday you spent $219 of the $329. So you're already spending about 2/3 of it, and it's only been about 3 days. Okay,
that's great. Where did you pull this up, please?
Yep, so this is the overview. So when you come into Google Ads,
okay,
see all campaigns,
yeah,
and overview. Okay, now this is obviously just brand new data, so who knows what it will ultimately do. Sometimes these things spike way up like this and then drop down, and Google's just trying to learn. Sometimes it'll just keep spiking up. We put together an account recently, and it went day 1 and it went up to $329 a day in spending, and it's just been there since. So
okay, but I have a question.
Yeah,
the question is, I've not even put the right links yet.
Yep. Yes, so you're correct.
So how is it? That means the people that clicked on this were disappointed.
Possibly. Yeah, I mean, possibly. The Google advertising campaigns in here work on what we might call the law of 1% gains. So if I, it may work or it may not work by just throwing in the homepage, which I would never suggest, but it's going to work 1%, 2%, 3% better if you send it to a page that's more specific to what they're looking for. So the results get better the more finely tuned it is. Now, does it really matter for the first week, whether or not everything is perfect? No, not really, because you're going to fix it all and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
And you may as well get the traffic if it's free. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not, their experience won't be, 100% finely tuned, but it's closer than what we started with. So we're going to continue fine tuning that, and we can actually start by looking in here and seeing if we can't put in some of the right links if we have some of those already. If not, then okay. Either way, so what I will show you here, and this is data. Okay, so we're going to read a little bit of data here. All right.
Okay.
Cost here is $355. So that's how much we've spent so far. And now the first thing you always want to do when you're reading the data in your Google Grant account is you want to make sure you're looking at the right dates. So we're looking at August to October. That's 3 months, and that's too long. I was doing a different type of breakdown with another account. And that's why those dates are like that. Oh, and we're going to actually maybe have more spending. Let's see. So we're going to do the 25th to the 25th because that's 1 month, and that's kind of a default view when we're looking at analytics. So here we'll actually see you've spent over $1,200 because we added in those last couple of days. And what you'll see is on the 23rd, you actually hit the full Google Grant, $330 of spend. You did it again on the 24th, and today is the 25th, and you've already spent $192. So it looks like you're on track to max out your Google Grant again today. That's really good sign. Okay. Now, what you're finding here, is that, let me look at the numbers here. Your average cost per click is $1.68. And so you can see here, this yellow, it will vary from day to day. Sometimes you'll have holidays and the cost per click will go way up. or, something will happen and the cost will go down. Or if you create a new advertising campaign in Nigeria, maybe it goes down on average. So either way, cost per click, impressions are how many people are seeing your ads on any given day. Okay. So when we go to Google and I look up, let's just say contract, and I always do this because they always have ads, contractor near me. So people who build decks and all this stuff, so we're seeing their ads. You see the ad here on the left side. This is an impression. Their ad. So when they go into their advertising account, this is going to count as an impression because we are being impressed by their ads. If I click on it, then that's a click. Right. Okay. So impressions and clicks, and usually, you can see how the clicks go up with impressions. Okay. So when you look at this data, you can begin to see how your account is doing. Now, in my opinion, well, actually, I guess not my opinion, but one of the most important factors you can really look at is the conversion rate. And that is, and we haven't set this up yet, so we won't see this yet, but how many people signed up divided by how many clicks did you get? So for example, if we got 700 clicks and 7 conversions, 7 people signing up for something, that's a 1% conversion rate because you're only getting 1 for every 100. So we want to always increase your conversion rate. You can also look at your cost per conversion. So cost per conversion. Now, this is more important with paid advertising accounts because you're not really paying for this Google grant to run. But this says how many conversions did you get divided by the cost. So if you only got 1 conversion, you're paying $1,200 for every person who signs up on your email list, which is really expensive. So like in wedding venue industry, when we did that, we were always trying to get conversions under $50. Okay. So, and it varies. I mean, there are organizations that can get them under $5. So you have to find what's good for you, and you're always trying to bring it further and further down. And the rationale behind that is like, for example, we're working with one organization we're working with, and they have to bring in clients. It's a Christian organization, but they work with clients, and they don't get funding unless they work with clients. And so what they have to do is they have to get the clients in for less money than the funding they get to work with those clients. So, it makes sense. You have to make more money than you spend. So we're trying to get their cost per conversion under $50. And if they talk to, let's say, 5 people, they get 5 leads on their website and they call them, or they get called and they're like, oh, hey, it's, what are you looking into? And they can only sell 1 in 5 leads. That means they have a 20% rate of sale, right? So they sell 1 in 5. But what that means is if each conversion costs $50 and they need 5 on average to sell 1, then it costs them $250 to get 1 client. And then you can do math and you can say, okay, well, how much is 1 client actually worth? How much are these donors giving us for 1 client? And are we making more than we're spending? Because you obviously can't spend more to get a client, that you'll go out of business. So anyway, so there are some numbers just for your training benefit there. Okay. And then you can see here the biggest changes. The Lord's Prayer has spent $365. The international, so best Christian books, $180. So that's something that we should definitely make sure we have your link on, which I believe we do. But
the Lord's Prayer, I'm not sure whether we have their links. It's only Archbishop Benson, the also link that is there.
Okay, well, we can look into it again. Like all the stuff can just be tweaked over time, but your ebook has gotten over 100 clicks recently. So that means over 100 people have seen that and potentially downloaded it. So you'll probably want to check in on that, which is pretty cool. I would expect with 100 clicks, somewhere between 1 and 10 downloads potentially.
I'm not sure whether I set up a download counter on the. Okay, that should be able.
Well, if they downloaded it, check into it. If they downloaded it, you should be getting their name and email. Okay.
Yeah,
So you
I'll
should
check it.
require that. Yep.
Yeah.
And you are getting how to pray. So that'll be a good piece of content. You've got 100 clicks on that. Birthday prayers, books on faith. So you got another 40 people to your book there. So you've got a lot of book stuff going on and a lot of prayer stuff. All right.
Yeah.
And most of the people who are coming to your site are on mobile. So you see over here, you got mobile phones.
Okay.
All right. So this looks like about 70% of all the traffic is mobile, and another 29% ish looks to be computers.
Computers,
and a very small fraction is tablets, and that's normal. Nobody really uses tablets. So also, so far, your average website viewer looks to be men between 35 and 44 years old. And so can you kind of see this heat map here where it's showing you, right? So you're not really getting people 65 and over, really not 50. I mean, some, but not a ton. And you're getting some 18 to 24, but they're really focused in, you know, definitely the 25 to 44 range, and definitely more male than female, but still females that in that age range are similar. And that's actually pretty common, or we would expect that looking at the data, because what do you talk about? Relationships, you know, all the things we've been putting in here, how to pray. These are things that you're learning. And, you know, it's not really surprising that younger 18 to 24-year-old people might not quite be interested in that yet, but 25 to 44 are kind of in that phase in their life where they're trying to pick all this up. So interesting. Okay, so either way, the next thing we can do to kind of break this down a little further is we can come here, and I'm just showing you how to look at the data. If we come to campaigns, and go to campaigns, now what we'll see, okay, well, so this tells us a lot. So your local campaign has not spent $1, so nothing's happened there. And I told you that the local campaigns just don't do as well on the Google grant. It'll probably spend some money at some point, but it's just not going to be, you know, mind blowing. The international campaign has spent $1,200, so that's where all of the stuff is coming from. So now, when we then say, okay, well, what are we doing when we want feedback from our audience? What should I offer more of? Well, let's go into the international campaign, and let's look at the ad groups. Okay. So
Brett, please, could you go back quickly, please?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, please.
To that
campaigns.
All right. So the in terms of standards to reach, that's I'm not sure whether the criteria for staying approved, the CTR is part of it.
Yes.
Okay. So like that's 7.82. What's the significance?
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So in order to stay approved for the Google grant, the overall account click-through rate has to be 5% or higher. So let me clarify. So this is only one campaign. This is your international campaign, right? And that's 7.8%. And that's a very high click-through rate. Like, that's really good. That means
that's just one campaign?
That's your international campaign. And that has all of the ad groups in it about prayer, how to pray, birthday prayers, all of those things are under that one campaign. Those are ad groups.
All right.
So if we break this down and we look within that campaign, we can see the click-through rates of every ad group within that. Okay. This is giving us a high-level view at the campaign level. But Google Ads policy only cares at the account level. So you'll remember there's 3 levels. There's the account level, the campaign level, which is what we're looking at, and then the ad group level. So now if the local ads start performing at 1% click-through rate, that's going to drag down the account average, right? So the way you find that, to find the account average, is you go to all campaigns, because this is the account level. We're looking at everything.
Overview.
And then you go to overview, and then you'll select click-through rate, and you'll check it. And usually what we do is we check it So your account average is 7.8 right now. You're fine on this measure.
Okay.
And so 7.8, and I would check it on a month time frame up here in the top right hand corner, and I check it on 2 weeks just to make sure
2
it's
weeks.
really, it's really above. And we'll go over, that'll probably be the last thing we do. We'll actually do an account audit for you.
Okay.
And we'll go through and we'll make sure, before we wrap everything up, that it's compliant, but also so you know how to do it, and you'll actually walk through it with me once. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because as it gets more data, we'll actually be able to change some things. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, to answer your 5% question. Okay. So now if we come in here, so again, what's working, what's not working? Well, we already know local ads isn't really doing anything, and we expected that. So we're going to come into international, and I'm going to look at, ad groups. And here you'll see that the Lord's Prayer has 200 clicks and Best Christian Books has 100.
And 5 clicks.
What's that?
No, I'm just excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of stuff coming in here. So now the Lord's Prayer has 10% click-through rate. So just so you're aware, if you're running ads for a paid service, a good click-through rate is somewhere around 3 to 5%. So when you're, and again, it varies, but 10% is generally very good. 18% is very good. So birthday prayer for myself, you're getting an 18% click-through rate because most likely when they look up birthday prayer for myself, yours is the only one who uses that keyword, and they go, oh, that's definitely the one that I want to click on. Does that make sense? Because nobody else is targeting that keyword, and we already knew that. So they're seeing that. And then here's
the unfortunate thing, like I told you, is that the link is not yet set up.
Right. And again, we'll fine tune that, but either way. So this is looking very promising. You'll see here, Best Christian Books, you have a 4.33, which is under 5%, which isn't a big deal because the rest of your account is pulling your average up. But the reason that's lower is because there's a lot of competition for that. You see what I'm saying? Other people are doing it really well too, because there's money there. And that's the reason. So anyway, so let's pick up where we left off. I just wanted to show you some of this data as we got into your account, because this is promising. This is a really great start for a Google grant. Most organizations, I'm sure, as you know, get their Google grant started and just nothing happens. So the other thing that I would tell you here, Nigeria, you've got, we don't want to see impressions. We want to see clicks. We want to see people who actually come in. Here we go. North America, you've got 199 clicks. Can you see this okay?
Yep.
Over here in Nigeria, 180 clicks. So the majority of your traffic is coming from Nigeria, even though you've targeted a lot of Africa. So that's pretty cool. And then South Africa, you've got 75. So, and then over here, United Kingdom, you've got 83. So those are your top countries so far. However, you are reaching, it looks like.
What of that place? Is that Alaska or something?
This up here is Alaska.
Okay.
That's the US. Now, I will show you. See all these areas that are just blank?
Okay.
That's because those have no impressions. And these areas, you haven't gotten any clicks, like Democratic Republic of the Congo. You have 0 clicks, but people have seen your ads there. Okay. But you'll see here, Tanzania, you've got 6 clicks. Kenya, you've got 32.
Okay.
Zambia, 22. So you can go in and you can explore all this stuff, once the account's more built out. But anyway, so very cool. You've got ministry going on in Africa now. So at least through the Google grant.
Amen.
So let's see. Where did we leave off? We left off. Did you finish the ads?
Yes, not all of them, but I got through to. I think I stopped at morning prayers.
Right here.
Okay, let me see. Let's check it, because I tried to do all the prayers.
Yep. So it looks like morning prayer does probably maybe need some work. Let's see. Oh no, here we go. Church of God. Morning prayer. Pastor Victor prays for you. Join Harvest. Download a free prayer guide. Get a free 7-day.
Okay, I should have changed. No, that prayer for your birthday is wrong. I should have changed it.
This is morning prayer, and this one looks fine.
Okay.
Okay. So let's look at new month prayer.
No, I've not done anything there yet.
Okay, that's all right. We'll just keep it going here. Okay. Church of God, and then we're going to say new month prayer, Pastor Victor, praise be. Excuse me.
Can I ask a question, Brett?
Mm-hmm.
Since this is an assignment that you've given me, can I just maybe let me still find time and do the assignment?
Sure.
If you want to move ahead of this, let's go to what you want to talk about. I will do this.
Okay. Yeah. No problem. I'll let you do those.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. So then the next thing, and I will work on creating the local ads as well. Well, this is why you don't have any local traffic. I didn't put any ads in here yet. So that's something I'll put in there. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is we want to track the conversion. So once we have the account set up, and your account is more or less set up, we just have to create some ads for for the local, and you'll have to finish the ads for these ones. Okay. Now, once that's done, I'm going to check one thing here. We're going to go to all campaigns, settings. And I think we've checked this before, but I just make it a habit to check it, because if you miss it, it's a very small setting.
Okay. Settings, account settings. Okay.
Auto tagging, and this is set to yes. And this means that Google is going to track conversions for us once we set them up.
Okay.
So that's
what about
fine.
tracking? Tracking, no options yet.
Where do you see that? Tracking?
Yes, it says no option yet.
Yeah. So we're going to do tracking a different way.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't really used this one too much.
Okay.
However, final URL suffix. I might look into this. This might be tracking a final URL. Yep. That might be interesting. But anyway, we're going to set it up. There's like a lot of ways you can set up tracking. So we're going to do it through a cookie. And so let's see here. Church. What? It's Joy and Harvest. There we go.
Okay.
That is a creepy Google logo.
Can I also, it's like this thing can record on my system too. Do I have the permission to record?
I don't know that you can record because I'm recording right now.
Okay. Because I want to go over and over and over again those things.
Oh man, I know.
I know you are doing your best.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to get those up and going for you. I don't want to put them up while the information.
Okay, let me click it. Let me see what.
Yeah, give it a try. Give it a try.
Okay. It says, please ask the host to give you permission to record.
Yeah, so that's gonna.
It will affect you.
Yeah, I think that's gonna stop me from actually recording.
Okay, please don't worry. Let's go ahead, please.
Okay, I will get that to you. That is definitely on our priority list, because
thank you.
Yeah, I want other people to have it as well. So
okay.
Okay. So going to your website, let's look here. Here, I'm forgetting. One thing we're going to do is this. We're going to come into all campaigns, and we're going to create extensions. Okay.
Extensions.
And this is not something we've done yet. We're going to come into a site link extensions. Okay. And you'll see add site link extensions. Now, a site link extension, it is exactly what it sounds like. It extends the ad. Okay. And again, we want to make our ad as big as possible because Google shows it at the top, and it kind of pushes all the other people with the best Christian book down the page, right? So we want to get as much of the top of the page as we can.
Okay.
So you'll notice without the extension, let's say on the computer, this is your ad. With the site link extensions, this is all now your ad. So what we want to do is we want to come up with the top pages that we want people to go to. And so the fourth one we're going to do, I already know, is give. Okay.
Okay.
And we're going to say support. Do you have an abbreviation?
CGMI.
There you go.
Joy and Harvest.
CGM. I'm getting two G's there, I think. CGMI.
Joy and Harvest. Katy, Texas. Oh, today. Okay. Today. The harvest is not correct.
Okay. There we go. So it's click here to support CGMI, Joy and Harvest. And let's just see here. 32, Joy and Harvest today. Excellent. Okay, now what we'll do is we're going to come up here and we're going to go to your give page.
Okay.
Okay, and we're probably going to want to update this a little bit. What platform do you use to take donations?
It's authorized.net. It's from directly, it's a link that was given to me directly from Chase Bank.
Chase Bank. Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Let me ask you another question. Do they take a percentage?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Okay. I would suggest you set this up through something that looks a bit more professional. And I don't have something right off the top of my head, but they just gave you a link and the link popped the button into your website.
Yes, that's all. That's
okay. So when we talk about building trust with our audience and reducing anxiety, this donate button shouts like early 2000s. This looks like something on a very old website. And it's just not inspiring trust. So we want to make sure we're giving them a way to, give you money that's up to date. It looks like it's been really well thought through. So that's something we may want to figure out, and maybe we'll have to, I'll give you some suggestions. I'll look into it and find a good donation platform, or maybe even Stripe, and you can take donations through Stripe potentially. So anyway, something to think about. And again, when we have a donation page, it's going to be just like a sales page, right? You want to build that trust. You want to show them all the reasons why they should donate to you instead of to somebody else. And then you want to have that call to action consistently. So anyway, so this is the page we'll use. And so we're going to put this as the URL.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to put that there. Now, the next thing, what else do we, what are the most important things to you if we were going to have specific links in the ad to send them to something? Do you want to send them to your live stream, your live church?
Yes. Messages, events, and then events too.
Live stream. Okay. So I am going to come here, and this is, okay. So one thing we should definitely do in here is we should say, live, Sunday service, we should say, put the keyword in there, right? Live service, live stream, whatever it is. And you should say, Sundays at this time and this time zone, right? That way people are aware of when it actually is, because this is just like, when's it going to go live? I don't know. Sunday. You see what I'm saying? So just so they have more information. Okay. So either way, this is great. So we're going to come over. Oops, that's not what we want.
Okay.
There we go. And we're going to come here and we're going to say, actually, what I want to be sure is I want to make sure live church or church online, maybe. That's I want to see which one.
Okay, the highest.
1900. So that's pretty good. And that's $1.42. So we're looking at competitiveness here in advertising. Live church, and we're going to look at
church online.
Exactly. Church online. And Church Online has 6,600 searches a month in the United States, and it's $1.87. I think for the money, I still think this one's a better deal because there's a much larger, the search volume is 3 times larger, and the cost per click is only like 30 or 40 cents higher. So I would try this one.
Okay.
So
Church Online.
So we're going to come in here and we're going to say Church Online.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put the link here. Join us for live. Oh, and right, I'm capitalizing all this.
Sorry.
You're fine. Join it.
And is there a way we can pause this so that I will be able to set up the online before we make it go live?
You want to set up what?
The live stream so that it will be functional. Currently, it's not. We are still tweaking it.
Yes. We can pause this if that's the case. Now, I will tell you this, and this is, and I always give the option. I think, at least in my opinion, I think getting the traffic to your website is better than not getting the traffic to your website. So even though, you see what I'm saying? Because, you know, they're going to hit your live stream page. Sure, maybe a lot of them will leave, but some of them will poke around your website for a little bit. And
So, let me go with the expert.
So I would say if you can spend $329 a day and you can get an extra 250 people, even if it's not 100% done, get the people, because some of them are going to start liking what they see anyway. You know, and again, that law of 1% gains. If you just make it 1% better, the experience every day, you're going to get more and more of those people to stay every day. But, you know, why not keep the ones you can? So I would suggest leaving it on personally. Okay. So we're going to add the call to action. Click here, Church Online. So you see now we have Give and Church Online. Now let's see here. What else do we want to include?
Events, upcoming events.
Wednesday. Now, are these all online?
Oh, no. Okay. Yes and no. Not all of them.
Okay. So which ones are online?
Okay, like the Wednesday Bible study, people calling to, it's a phone conference. It's not really online.
Interesting.
It's a phone conference.
Here's what I would suggest.
Okay.
Events are very difficult with the grant, the Google grant.
Okay.
And with advertising in general, and it's not that you can't run a successful event campaign. However, for the user, their attention span is very short. And so they'll look up like, you know, well, let's just say they click on your link that says church events, and they're going to see, oh, I got to come back on Wednesday. And then they're going to leave your page and forget about it.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because that's just how the internet works. People are very short-sighted. They just want stuff right now. They want an event right now. And if they don't get it now, life's busy, you know, they're going to leave and they're going to forget about it. So I would suggest that you don't advertise the events, only because you're going to spend, you know, it'll spend money and it will get people to the page, but the likelihood that they remember to come back is so low. We want them to take action like this second. If you change this page up and it said sign up right now for reminders, event reminders, well, now you're getting that conversion right now. That's what we want.
Okay. Let's go to store.
Yes. Oh, even better. That's okay. We should definitely have a store link. Yeah. And so again, as we're making this, the goal is to get their contact information on the very first visit, because we don't get a second chance. There's no guarantee that they ever come back. And that's one big mistake that a lot of church webs and a lot of just anybody's website makes. They try to get the big you know, the big deal now. They try to get the donation, they try to get the sale right now. But if it's a large commitment, people aren't willing to do that on the first visit. So we definitely want to just get the lowest, easy in, which is get the email and name, give them something free for it, like your book.
Yeah.
And then follow up with them on the big stuff. So anyway, let's go and put this in here. Okay, and let me just see here. Is any of this paid? Okay, so you have free and paid. Excellent. Okay. Okay, so we're going to call this. So we can call it the store, and we'll say access free and paid Christian
resources.
Aha, there you go. That's what's the word I was looking for. SOURs, resources online now.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
And then we need one more. And we want to go back here. Announcements, community. And we want to have 4 of these so it really fills it out. Ministries, community, announcement, store. We've got give.
Or maybe I should create a volunteer page or something.
I think that maybe a good one, because again, we can engage them all the time, is sermons. I think we should.
Okay, sermons. Okay.
We'll say
maybe
sermons.
Messages. Okay.
We'll say sermons on demand.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Watch online sermons on demand. Click here for free biblical. And that's a little long. There. Click here, free biblical resources. Okay, so we'll go with that. And we're going to save this. And so now you'll notice how much larger the ad just got. Just adding these.
Okay.
And not all of these show every single time. I really wish this would update. Oh, I really hope that we don't have to rewrite this.
Okay, what happened?
I don't know. It's just not oh, final URL. Okay, that's why. Sermons on demand. Okay, so we just need to go to the sermons page.
Yeah. Messages.
Perfect. There we go.
No, not this. Okay, let me scroll down. Let's see. Yes, it is. Sorry, it is. Yep.
Okay, so there we go. Now we can probably save it. There we go. Okay, so now if we come, and I'll just show you here as an example, let's just say we go to this advertising campaign, and you'll see here, give church online, store sermons on demand. So now this ad is really filling out. Okay. So if I go here to ads, there we go. This is now going to show you, oh, I guess it's not going to show us the extensions on the bottom it used to. Anyway, so that ad is going to now be larger than it was, which is great. So anyway, let's continue with our extensions. So that was a site link, and this is a call out, and this is just descriptive text. So this is just giving people short words that describe your website. So like this gives the example of free shipping. So we can say free resources. We can say biblical teaching. What else? What else sticks out to you?
Church online.
Church. Well, that's something we could put. Yeah, I think we don't need to.
Okay, I nothing offhand now. Nothing offhand.
All right, so we're going to go to your website then for inspiration.
No, but how does that call out function? How does it function?
Great question. So this call out function here, so these last ones, the Sitelink extensions, you can see sermons on demand, store, church online. These new ones describe, so here you'll have your ad, and then below you'll have some extra descriptive text. So this one pops up right here. The white area. Does that show you?
Okay.
So again, this just adds more to the advertisement. So so let's see here. Let's see, we've got biblical teaching. What are some descriptive ways to describe your church as a whole?
We have a slogan: evangelism, our supreme task.
Okay. So and what's your mission? That's evangelism is your supreme task. That's going to be a little long for 25 characters. What's the ultimate mission? You're raising disciples.
Yes, raising disciples, raising leaders for the various spheres of life.
Okay, so can we say training biblical leaders?
I hope that if it's a keyword that sells, why not? But it sounds a little bit orthodox.
It sounds orthodox. Okay, well, we don't have to include that. And these aren't necessarily going to be keyworded. This is just something that's going to give people additional context about who you are, right? So
I'll just say building Christian leaders.
Okay, let's do that. Oh, 1 over building, B-U-I-L-E.
Oh, okay.
Building. What about godly? Can we try that?
Yes.
I know that's a little more vague. I'm not the biggest fan, but it will fit. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we have biblical here, so I mean they can kind of infer to some degree. What else?
Okay. I like I told you, something about relationship, marriages, or raising godly homes.
Godly what?
Homes.
What's that?
Homes.
Oh, homes. Okay.
Or family. Raising godly homes or family.
How about that? Raising godly families.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay. Great. Okay. And so again, now how this is going to work is down the road, as you get more data coming in here, you can look at the data behind each extension and see which one is bringing people in.
Effective. Okay.
Right. And then so if it's like building godly leaders, raising godly homes or families, if those work really well, then you're going to make more like that. If those don't work well, you'll remove them and make something more like these other guys. Okay. Okay. So now we've got those extensions. Let's look here. Okay, so this is specific aspects of your product or service. So we can say free ebook. This is actually stuff that you're offering. And then what's the other thing that you offer? The free audio something?
Free. Yes. Free Christian resource.
Let's look at it. Let's see what it is. We're going to go to store.
I know it's an audio message. I can also put video message there. I can put, so that's why I said maybe free Christian resource.
I'm going to say free MP3 download. That is going to be a bit more catchy.
Okay. MP3 messages, because MP3, they may be thinking it's an MP3 player.
Okay. Oh, well, you can't download an MP3 player, so.
Okay, that's true. MP3
downloads. Yeah. So I think that will be fine. That's a pretty common thing to say in an ad.
Yes. I concur. Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. We're going to add these. Now, also, I will point out, if you're doing these in the future and you want to get hyper specific about things, you can, instead of adding them to the whole account, you can add them to a specific ad group.
Ad group.
Campaign.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, usually I haven't found that that's really necessary, but I'm sure that, there are reasons why you could. Create new.
Okay.
We are going to have a new extension, so we're not editing an old one. So we've got our 3 in there, and then you can again see that those are added here in the bolded section here. So the one that we did just above is right there, giving more of a descriptive, element of your website. And here we now have more like services and products that they can access. Okay.
All right.
So English. And then this is going to be service catalog neighbors. So it's asking us for, I really don't like this because it doesn't really tell us, like, products would make a lot of sense to have in here, and it doesn't. So we're just going to say types. There we go. Okay. So there we go. So now we've got that. Now, one thing you can also do, and I don't know that this is up to you. This is a preference thing. We can add what's called a call extension. And this is for people to actually call your church. And I think that this is beneficial, specifically on ads that target your area.
Okay.
So like
for local ads. Okay.
For local ads, yes. But I don't think you want to add a call extension to international ads. And I've experienced this myself, getting calls, from people who knows where. And there's just a limited amount that you can work with them. So either way, I think that all of this looks really good. And so that is our extensions. So our extensions are finished. Our ads are primarily finished. And the only thing we really need to do at this point, Pastor, is set up your conversion tracking. So what I can do, let me think here. I think what we should do is we should get a page set up on your website. Are you able to edit your website from your computer?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So here is what what I propose we do.
Okay.
So one of the easier ways to track conversions on a website is after someone downloads something. So let's say I click on, I'll show you the process. I come in here and I click on, we'll say birthday. Well, that's not going to go to the right page. We're going to go to Benson here.
I've already finished that. Let me even see if it's finished.
Okay.
So that I can put the right link. I just uploaded to the church YouTube. Let me see, where are you now? Where are you? YouTube channel. Okay, I've uploaded it. So I have the link now.
And the link is to what?
To the birthday prayer.
Okay, so I think that is definitely something that you can add to your website when you get time. We're actually setting up something really specific. So
okay.
Yep. So as you make that content, you can add that, and then I'll show you, how. You know how to add that to your website. I'm going to show you how to add the actual tracking element. Okay. So let's just say here, I'm going to go on my website that I'm a web searcher. Maybe I'm in Nigeria and I look up Pastor Benson.
Also.
Yeah, exactly. And so here's the ad. Okay. And if you see the ad in Google Ads, you can actually click on it and it takes you to the website. So I'm going to click on it. Here we go. And I end up on all the sermons. Okay. Now, what we want to add to this page is sign up right now for your free prayer guide. Okay. And that's going to be, at least for most of your campaigns, that's going to be the major call to action. Okay. So what you need to do then is at the bottom of the website down here, you need to have a little banner above the footer. And I'm going to just show you what that looks like. You've seen this. So we go over here to our site. And so main call to action, you're going down, main call to action, another main call to action, and then here is that lead magnet. Sign up right now and get your 100 page. You see what I'm saying?
All righty. Yeah.
So this is, and you can copy this right off, you know, in terms of basic look. Excuse me.
Yep.
So that's going to be the next thing you want to do. Now, what I want to do is I want to set up how we track this on your website. So for example, when someone here at Clickmill comes and clicks the download my free ebook, they put in their first name, email, and phone number. And then I am able to contact them and see how they're doing, see what they need.
Okay, you know, now this pop-up that came up, is it just a widget on your?
Yeah, something like that. So you will have to decide the best way to do that on your site. Now what I'm interested in is how we track it. And
no problem. I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay, so you set that up, and then what we're going to do right now is we're going to set up a thank you page. And so what will happen is the only way a user can get to this page that says, thanks for your download, is to go through this, which you'll make, right? And so they're going to click on your download button. They're going to fill this out, click download my free prayer guide. And once they click download and their information's in there, it will redirect them to a page that says, thanks for downloading. You can also see this other, you know, super awesome content. Now, that page that they get redirected to is a thank you page, and the only way they can get to it is by downloading. So you have a specific thank you page for your prayer guide. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tell Google Ads to track every time that page is loaded. So then that will count as the conversion. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and let's see if, can you share your screen?
Okay, just a minute. Let me. Where did you say I will go there again to do the sharing?
Yep, if you go to the Zoom meeting and you go to the bottom, you will see a green button that says share screen.
Okay, I've seen it.
And you'll share your entire screen.
Yep.
Okay. Now this is a little bit more of the complicated part. So I just want you to be aware of that. And this might take, you know, really building the ads account. Once you understand it, it's fairly simple. So for this part, you're going to have to go into your website and log into your website editor.
It's already in. Let me just.
Okay. Oh, and you're in web. Oh, good. You're in.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. I never know what I'm going to get with website editors. I'm glad you're on WordPress. Okay. So I want you to go to pages. Okay. And then you're going to add new at the top left. Excellent. And now you're going to add the title, and the title is going to be Prayer Guide Thank You Page. Excellent. Let me think here. Prayer Guide Thank You Page. That's going to be the title at the top. That should be fine. Let's do that. Okay. And so what you'll do is now you can make this page as fancy as you like. The only thing we need is a link right now. Okay. So either way, if you want to go ahead and just click publish. Yep. There you go. Publish. And then you can go back to the WordPress editor with pages, and we're going to do a little bit more tweaking. Yep. Let's see, pages, and scroll down till we find our prayer guide. Thank you. There you go. And let's do quick edit. So don't click on it, do quick edit. Yep. And then what we're going to do is let's simplify this a little bit. I want you to highlight thank you page. No, I'm sorry. In the link, I apologize. In the slug. So this is the link that's going to pop up, and we're going to say prayer guide -ty for thank you. There you go. And so this, anything that says TY says thank you, but it's not necessarily advertising to the user that you've got some kind of marketing strategy going on. They're just seeing it say more or less prayer guide. So you save, yep. So save this. And actually before you, sorry about that. Quick edit one more time and copy prayer-guide-ty. So copy that. Great. Okay, so this is the page we're going to track. So after they download on whatever download tool or widget you're going to use, it's going to send them to that page so that you know they've downloaded. Okay, now we want to track that page. So I want you to open up your Google Analytics.
How do I do
that? So go to analytics.google.com.
Okay, analytics.google.com.
Hopefully we have an account.
I should think so. Analytics.google.com. I should think so. I'm not sure.
We're going to find out.
Okay.
So go ahead and click Start Measuring. Now look in the top right-hand corner of your website at the little person there, the little circle with the blue person in there. What does that say? Okay, is this the email that's linked to your website, or is it G Suite at Joy and Harvest? Which one?
No, this is the one.
Okay, so then you're going to need to set up an account. It looks like it doesn't look like you currently have a Google Analytics account. So this
okay,
is
but what of if the G Suite has it?
You can put it wherever you want, I believe.
So can we try the G Suite first?
Yeah, click on that. Absolutely.
So does it have it? So what's this saying? Uncheck and saved?
Okay, so this is telling you that you want to receive emails about stuff. And my answer to this is no. I would uncheck all of them.
Okay.
Otherwise, Google is going to spam you into tomorrow.
Okay.
There you go. So we're going to save that. Oh, there we go. Joy and Harvest. Okay, so here's your website. So just push X there.
What I should put?
Just, yeah, don't ignore that. Go to the top with the blue box with the X and just click X there.
Blue box with the X. Oh, sorry. These things are getting in the way. Okay.
Yeah, just get rid of this.
Okay. Okay.
And then click the down at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, the show all, click the X next to that. We'll just clean this up a little. There you go. And then click outside that white box. It should go away, I think.
All right.
Okay, wonderful. Now, what I want to point out to you is look at your active users right now. That is how many people are on your website. Click on real-time report in the bottom of that blue box. There you go. And let's look at where people, you have 2 people on your site right now. Scroll down. Just, yep, there we go. Scroll, keep going. And there we go. So let's look at where they're at. You got some people in West Africa on your website right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So pretty cool. You can see where
Lagos, Accra, Ghana.
That's right.
Wow.
So they're listening to the pastor's sermons right now. So you can see here that they, it's pretty exciting. I love it.
Yes, it is.
So they went online and they searched either, you know, Archbishop Bensam Idiosa, or they searched sermons online, something like that. And they saw your ad, they clicked on it, and now they're presumably watching his sermons and hearing, you know, biblical teaching. So now the next step then is we want to get them on an email list so you can follow up with them and encourage them in their walk and build a deeper relationship, but you're already getting results. Anyway, so this is Google Analytics. Okay, so I want you to go to the top left and click Home. Now, have you ever used an analytic software before?
No.
Okay, well, then here's what we'll do. We've got an hour left in our call today, and the Google Ads is almost entirely set up. And I did tell you that we would be getting into some extra training in here just for free and just for fun.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. So this is really important to understand. And I think most ministry leaders do not understand analytic data or how it works. So I want to actually give you some free data training here, because the data, just like, yeah, of course, just like in your Google grant, right? We are going to put something out there and we'll change it later based on people's feedback as that data comes in. Okay. This is the data for your whole website. The data we've been seeing today in your Google grant, I guess today is data day, but in your Google grant only shows you the data of your advertising. So it's only showing you people interacting with your ads. This is showing you how people interact with your whole website. Okay.
Okay.
So,
you mean for today?
For forever. So
no, what I mean is it on a daily basis, or because this is showing October 18 to 24?
Yes. So this is on the time frame that you choose, which is great. Okay. So if you look at this first box here, the white box right in the middle, you're going to see last 7 days at the bottom left-hand side. Okay. So what I want to show you, go ahead and click on that. Okay. And I want you to click on, let's say, last 90 days. Okay, there we go. Now, what I want you to notice here is that the blue line that we're looking at is users. So this is how many people have used your website. Okay. Now, this is what data tells us. So we have 769 users in the last 90 days. Okay. Now, if you hover over August 1st there, you see at the bottom of the graph, August 1st, hover over that. How many? You have 18 users that day. And then just scroll to the right and let's look at a few days. 29, 31, 28. Okay, so you're about 30 users a day. Now I want you to go to that top peak there. Yep, 334. So you've had a 1,987% increase in website traffic. And if you didn't know any better, you would say, well, why did that happen? Right? Now, of course, we know we just turned on a Google grant and we're spending $10,000 a month, right? So that we know what it is. But if you didn't know what happened, because you're always trying stuff. Well, you just got someone else on your website right there. You want to see where they're at?
Okay.
Go ahead. Just give it a look down at the bottom right. Okay. So scroll back down and this person, here we go.
It's legal. Okay. Only one active user.
Yep. Right now. Okay. So we'll go back to home.
So home. Okay.
Yeah. We'll go back. Okay. It's exciting. It is. It is. I'm definitely the nerdy type, but I watch these data on Clickmill website like some guys will watch like a football game or something, just like, oh, another one. All right. Anyway, so so if we go back then to the last 28 days, let's go open that back up in this white box. Okay, so we'll go to 28 days. Okay. So, and go back up to the top there. Oh, we did 90 days before, but this is fine. So we might ask, oh, well, why are we getting all this traffic now if we didn't know why? Maybe you posted something on Facebook, maybe you posted something on Instagram, but you've been trying things for a year, 2 years, and you haven't gotten any results. And all of a sudden you have this big spike today on the 25th. And you say, okay, what did I do like yesterday that made that happen? And then it tells you how to navigate and how to market your website in the most effective ways, right? So all you have to do once you get good results once is say, oh, wow, that worked really well. How do I do that again?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you can start targeting your efforts. So instead of trying, and I told you I did this myself, right? Instead of trying 10 different marketing methods with Clickmill, I looked at the data and I said, well, how did everybody come in? All the clients come in, and I saw that they only came in through 3 ways, and none of them were what I was doing. And so that allowed me to eliminate all 10 things I was doing and just focus on the 3 things.
Those 3 things.
Which saved me a ton of time. And so the data helps to point you to your 2 or 3 things. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that said, let's look at the actual data points. So if you scroll up a little bit, there you go. So users is just how many people have been on your website. Okay. Now, the sessions is how many times people have been on your website, or I guess more specifically, you had 570 people on your site, but you had 677 sessions, meaning some of those 570 people came back a second time.
Second time, okay.
Which is great. You know, you want them to do that. Now, bounce rate, if you go over one more, there you go. Bounce rate is the measure of how many people saw one page and left. Okay. So 84.49% of the people who saw your website saw one page and then turned around and left, and they didn't go to a second page. Okay. Now, this number is important. A good website, and this is a very general number you have to find for your own website, but a general number is 80%. If you have a bounce rate of 80% or less, you're doing really well. And I'm actually over here looking at the Clickmill website just to give you some, you know, let me see, Clickmill. Give me one moment. Where's my bounce rate? Well, anyway, our bounce rate's somewhere around like 65.
Okay.
But it didn't start that way. It started at like 85, 90, just like yours. Well, what you do is you look at that number and you say, okay, well, if 80 is sort of average, and then you want to get yours down about 4%. Well, how do I do that? Well, if you add a lead magnet, like we're talking about, a free prayer guide, as soon as they click that, the bounce rate's going to go down because now they have taken action off of one page. Okay. So you want to get the bounce rate as low as you can. And the more value you offer on your website, the longer people are going to hang out. Okay.
Okay.
Now you're
can I quickly check the
yes, you can.
the third person there.
It is, it's fun.
All of them are from Lagos?
No, you might have to refresh. Doesn't look right. There you go. Now scroll back down. Oh, you got 4 now. There you go. Great. You got Norwich.
Lagos.
Yeah.
Kampala. Wow.
Pretty great, right?
And then, and all of them are watching Archbishop.
Yeah, apparently they're all at the same link. So that's
because that's the link that's the only link that is active for the all the the ads.
That's the one we have in all of them.
Yes, in all of them.
And so what you'll notice too is once we get the correct links in there and people are going to the pages that they actually anticipate, well, you're going to get people staying longer there as well. And again, this is all 1% gains, right? So anyway,
that's it.
Still really cool though.
It is.
Okay, so yeah, so we'll go back here to home. So we're getting an idea here of what these numbers mean. And so we looked at bounce rate, session duration, okay? 30. Now this has been going down since we've been sitting here, which is really funny. I think it was at 37 seconds a few minutes ago. Anyway, so you can see here that the actual number here is down. So see how it says down 70.7%, and that is over the prior 7 days. So you're getting more traffic, but they're staying for less time. Okay. And as you mentioned, presumably that is because they're not getting the page that they thought they were going to get. Okay. So again, the data tells you a story. So we want to read that story from the data. Okay. So 30 seconds on a website is okay. Most people, if they don't find what they're looking for, will stay under 30 seconds and leave. This has to do with the design of the website. And we've talked about this a little bit, but if they're confused, if they're not sure what to do, if you have too much writing on the website, they're just like, you know what, forget it, I'm out of here. And that's when you're going to see under 30 seconds. Now, 30 seconds is okay. When Google's really going to start promoting your website is when you start seeing your session duration be around 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And the way we do that is we create really good content that meets the specific need they're searching, right? The keyword. And we make sure they land on that with in a way that they can access that as easily as possible. So for example, they land on the Archbishop page and all they have to do is click the play button. That's how we increase the session duration. So there's little friction and as high value as we can make. And so as you continue to make these changes to your website and as you add these prayers, you're going to see that go back up, because right now, you haven't created all this stuff. So anyway, so let's scroll down. I'll show you some more here. Okay, here we go. So here is traffic channel.
Okay.
And this is going to tell you where people are coming from. So you'll see paid search there on the bottom. See the dark blue? There's dots at the bottom. Yeah, okay, well, there you go. On the bottom of the page there, it says paid search, organic search, direct, social, and other. Okay, so that's showing you the color. Can you see that?
Is there any way I can change the colors?
You cannot change the colors.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be better maybe if they were a little bit extra different, but nevertheless. So if you go and you just hover over the 23rd there, okay, so you've got 147 clicks from your paid search, which is awesome. You have 8 organic. So that means 8 people actually just found you on Google.
Okay.
Because you showed up on Google, and that's really good. I mean, that's good. That's your building.
Okay.
Direct, this is probably you typing in, or me specifically. Actually, I don't know if I was doing that on Saturday, but if I typed in Joy and Harvest, direct means joyandharvest.com, and I searched for it directly. Social, 4 people clicked on your social media posts and ended up on your website. Okay. Now, others can be referrals by other websites that don't fall under social, like question and answer sites or forums like Reddit, Quora, stuff like that. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. So you can keep an eye on this. And again, if you make any changes, you watch the data to see if it got you good results or bad results, and then you optimize based on that information. Okay. Yeah. So let's continue down a little bit. Okay. You can see active users is going up. I don't really like that particular graph, so I'm not going to go into it too much. I don't really use user retention too much. Okay. So maybe we'll scroll down a little bit more. Here we go. Okay. Users and time of day. Now, this is really useful. I like this because if you're going to pay for advertising, this can sometimes give you a really good idea of when people are most likely to take action on your website. Okay. Now, in your case, the Google grant, you'll notice that Saturday and Sunday have the highest amount of traffic, right? You see the dark blue, and that might lead you to believe that you should be really targeting ads on Saturday.
Sorry, where did you see that?
Yeah, on the left white square there with all the blue rectangles. Yeah, there you go.
This?
Yes.
So Saturday and Sunday.
So this is users.
Okay, Sunday, and Saturday, I can see it. Okay.
Yeah, so the darker colors indicate more users on your website, right?
Yeah.
That might lead you to believe that your website is most popular with your audience on Saturday and Sunday. However, we also know your Google grant just started spending Saturday and Sunday. So you actually don't have as much data as you need here to make educated and informed decisions. You need to let this go for at least another 5 days so that you have an equal amount of traffic every day to make that decision. So you'll see that start to even out. Okay, now in the next over here, sessions by country on the next box to the right, there you go. United States, Nigeria, South Africa, United Kingdom, and you can always click. Let's go to location overview, click down at the bottom right-hand corner of this box. Yep. Okay, so these are the people who have been on your website. If you scroll up to the top, we can select the time frame. Top right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the time frame. So this is October 18th through the 24th, which appears to be the last week or so. So let's do 18th through the 25th, and we'll have, what, 8 days. I look at an 8-day time frame, give me a full round week there. And so you're going to have to go click on 25 again, and then click on 18. There you go. And now apply. Okay. So today, and for the last 7 days before today, here are the countries from which people have found your website. Okay. And if you go down, it'll actually show you the numbers. There you go. So Nigeria, so you actually have a larger presence in Nigeria than you do in the United States, which is, that's interesting to know. You'll see over here, however, in Nigeria, if you look at average session duration there,
Average session duration. Okay.
49 seconds in Nigeria, a minute and 16 seconds in the United States, 16 seconds.
Wow.
So it just tells you that something about people in Nigeria, they're not staying quite as long as someone in the
Quite
United
as
States.
long as those in the US. Okay.
Right. Now, again, that all this data will change as you add the actual content. Okay.
Yep.
Now, something else that's interesting, and again, we're just trying to understand the story behind who's coming to your website. If you go over to bounce rate, see that right there? Okay. Now, the bounce rate is 80% in Nigeria, which is, like I said, that's average. That's okay. In the United States, it's 85%. So look at this. So this is interesting. People in Nigeria aren't staying on your site as long, but they seem
they're
to
checking it out.
Yeah, but they seem to be more interested in the type of content you have because they're going to other pages more frequently. Okay. Whereas people in the United States are sitting on one page longer. So interesting. And so again, you're just taking this information in, you're thinking about it, and you're saying, what's the reason this is happening? And once you kind of figure that out, well, then you can make some decisions. But what I can tell you is if we compare both of those to the United Kingdom, one line lower, do you see that there?
Okay,
look at the bounce rate in the United Kingdom, 93%.
Wow.
And the average session duration in the United Kingdom is 12 seconds. Okay. So if that tells you, and that's also looking similar in South Africa, 5 seconds, right?
Wow.
And so if that doesn't change, then probably what we would want to do, like, let's say, you get your free download on there, you get all these types of prayers up, and people in Nigeria and the United States are really, let's say that's picking up, but the United Kingdom and South Africa isn't getting any better, then we'll just turn those off in your Google grant, and you're going to get, it's still going to show ads to people in Nigeria and the United States, but the people it shows ads to are going to be more interested. Does that make sense?
Yes, please.
So this just tells you about your audience. Presumably, people in Nigeria are really loving the content, and much more than people in South Africa and the United States. Okay?
Yep.
Also, I'll point out one more thing that you see in the data. As you go further down, the average session duration gets lower. So you got Brazil at 2 seconds, Zambia at 23 seconds, Australia at 8 seconds, Canada at 1 second. Now, Google wants to give users the best possible experience, right? Because Google is a company, and if they give the user the best possible experience, then they're going to come back and click on more ads and make Google more money. So one of the ways that they measure the experience to determine who shows up at the top of Google is average session duration. This is called a couple things: average session duration. Some people call it dwell time or time on page. So the longer, and this is an overarching principle in SEO or search engine optimization. If you want to get to the top of Google, the best way to do it is to keep people on your website longer. And the best way to do that is to meet their needs. So
through useful content.
You figure out what the pain point is, what is their deeply felt need. If you can meet it better than anyone else, your time on page, your average session duration will be higher than everyone else. And Google will, in result, show you probably higher than everyone else. There's other factors that go into it, but that's a good way to begin doing that. And so a lot of people ask me, well, how do I get my blog to the top of Google? How do I rank #1? And the answer, it's always like, what's the secret tip? What's the trick? Well, you got to write the best blog. That's how you do it. You meet the need better than everyone else.
Write the best blog.
Right. That's how you do it. So that means that you have to have a process where you understand their needs and you meet it better than anyone else, and you create a more full piece of content. And that's how you get to that top spot on Google, by doing that consistently. So if you're going to create content faster, and this is for you, this is also for anyone else listening, if you're going to create content, don't waste your time making short little snippets that are 5 seconds long or are 100 or 200 words. If you're going to make a piece of content, make it worth their while. Have the video, have the text, have the call to action, have the whole experience, And it takes a little longer, but you're going to get a lot more out of it because Google is going to want to put that at the top, as opposed to
short.
Yeah, if you have 500 short little 100-word blurbs, Google doesn't care about any of them. So take the extra time, make a really good piece of content, with the video and the text and all the stuff. And it's going to take you longer, but you're going to get way more out of it. Okay.
I'm getting to understand that is important. Okay, thank you.
All right, absolutely. So what we'll do now is we'll actually start setting up, now that we have a little bit, and this was a really basic kind of overview. There are a lot of other elements to Google Analytics. I would just encourage you and anyone else, I just encourage you guys to watch videos on how it works.
Okay.
And over here on Clickmill, actually, if I can show you this, Pastor, would you mind stop sharing for one moment? Because this is something that we're putting together and I wanted to show you. And I'll actually give you access to this for free. I think you'll really like this.
All right.
Share. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So over here on courses, we are working on putting together, and we're still a little ways out on it, but we have a fair amount of content in here already. Right here, the digital ministry mega course. This is going to have dozens of hours of training, just like we're doing right now. It'll be, a little bit more edited and, streamlined, but this is going to have just tons of content in it. And it's going to take the user from the very beginning of vision for ministry and bringing that all the way through all the technical stuff with how do we set up advertising accounts? How do we do analytic data like we're doing? How do we use that analytic data? How do we calculate numbers and see if we're actually growing using analytic data? And how do we set up e-commerce stores? How do we design websites? Just all of it is going to be in here. And this is something that we're filming and we're editing and we're putting in here. So I want to give you access to what we have so far. This is in beta, and we've given a few people access who really liked what's here so far. But just to let you know, we're going to have all of this training really broken down in here. Okay.
Thank you. That's a big one. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I've checked your courses. I've gone to this page to see. You're really churning it out.
Trying. Yeah. And again, with the content, our goal is to really have really full content.
Amen.
So anyway, this one right here, you can sign up for free. This one's out and rolling.
Okay.
This is church marketing like Jesus did it. And this is talking about Jesus as an influencer. And this goes through some of the basic stuff, but it lays kind of a biblical framework for marketing. Doesn't get into the specifics quite as much, but I think a lot of pastors are uncomfortable with marketing. It sounds businessy, and it really doesn't have to. It just has to do with how do we influence people. So this really discovers and digs into how did Jesus so effectively influence people.
Okay.
So anyway, so this one's here, and then we're also going to be releasing this very shortly. Actually, I think this is finished, so I just have to take off this coming soon sticker. But I may actually give you access to this as well. I know you're really wanting to push forward here, but this goes really in depth into the marketing funnel. This is actually a workshop that I gave at a 6-campus, mega church. And so there's a room full of pastors, and I gave a really in-depth training on how to do a high-level strategy with the marketing funnel. So I'm going to give you access to this guy as well. But for anyone else watching, these will be very similar to all the things we're talking about.
Okay.
And also, just on the same vein, trying to create content that is very filled out, because the longer someone stays in it, the higher you're going to rank on Google. So anyway, let me give you the screen back, and we're going to set up your conversion tracking. Okay. So I am going to stop share. Okay, you can go ahead and share your screen, and I'm going to show you how to set up conversion tracking. All right, so I want you to go down to admin in the bottom left-hand corner. It's a little gear icon. There you go. Now now I will show you this. If you ever need someone to help, like for example, down the road, if you ever wanted me to be in your account, this is just housekeeping. Under the create account, on the very left side, that column, you'll see account. I'm sorry, there's 3 white columns in the page. The first white column, yep, right there you go. And account access management. So scroll down to there. Yep, right there. Click that. If you ever need to give someone access, this is where you do it. And so you'll just click the blue plus sign and you can add me, you can add other people. And again, I don't have to be in here right now because I'm going to walk you through it. But either way, so you can exit that. I just wanted to show you where you would add other users in here.
Okay. While we are here, let's do it.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and if you want to do that, add a user. And you can go ahead and you can add me, and my email is Brett B. So go ahead up to the top and let's do email first. There you go. Yep, and it's Brett at Clickmill, CLICKMILL.co. There you go. And it's, yep, there you go, co. And then you're going to notify me by email. So that tells me, hey, you've been invited to access this Google Analytics account. And then for me, you'll make me an edit, collaborate, and manage. So there you go. And also click manage down there at the bottom, manage users. This gives me full access to change anything. Now, this may or may not be the case with, say, volunteers in the church. Right. So go ahead and click add.
Add,
There you go. And then you're going to click the X button. Good. So now I can access this too. Now what I want you to do is I want you to go to the right column and click on goals. It's the little flag. There you go. Now this is conversions. Okay, this is tracking conversions. Why they call it goals, I don't know. In the new version of Google Analytics that they're kind of getting rolled out, it's actually called conversions, which makes more sense. But nevertheless, so I want you to click on plus new goal here. There you go. And what I want you to put is prayer guide down, thank you. And you say, and you can just put TY if that's,
you
can put capital TY there. Okay, and that is just going to tell you that this is triggered when they hit the prayer guide thank you page. And you know that they have to go through the prayer guide sign up to get to it. So you know they downloaded it, okay? So then you're gonna click on the type and you're gonna click on destination. Now, there's a lot of types of conversions you can set up. The easiest one to set up is destination, because all you're gonna do is track a URL. Now, if you want to track other things like the duration, how long someone is on a page, or how many pages per screen, or they played a specific video, a lot of times that's going to include getting a specific piece of code, installing it on your website. And that's generally not fun. You can do that if they're very important conversions, but it's going to take you quite a bit more time, and tracking thank you pages is pretty effective. So we're going to do that. So go ahead and click continue. And now what I want you to do, now this is something I want to point out because this is really tricky. People just do not notice this. This is where you're going to put the URL. Okay, so the goal details means destination is equal to, and this is where you're going to put in the link to the thank you page that we copied. So go ahead and click paste, because I believe it's still copied. Prayer guide, thank you. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to go to the beginning of this and you're going to put a backslash. There you go. Now, what it says here is, for example, this is underneath that bar. It says, for example, use my screen for an Android app and backslash thankyou.html instead of www.example.com backslash thankyou.html. It does not want you to put the full URL. It only wants you to put the permalink or the slug, which is what comes after the main. And now that's really important, because if you put in the full URL, you're going to be so confused. Like, I set the whole conversion up. Why isn't it working? You know, and so you're not going to know. But anyway, so this should work. Now, it's not case sensitive, so don't worry about that box. The next thing I want to show you, and we're not going to do this, but you can, again, optimize later. But you'll see value. If you click that to on, you can go ahead and do that. Let's say you discover, as you get lots and lots of data coming into your website, that every 100 prayer guides that are downloaded, you end up getting, say, one $50 donation. And that's just looking at lots and lots of data. You're like, well, for every 100 prayer guides, one of them ends up downloading 50 or donating $50 or something like that. What you can then do is, so if you can say that that is a statistical probability, you can then say, okay, well, what's 100 divided by $50? Well, that's 50 cents. So every download is worth 50 cents. So you would put 0.5 in the value. And then when you looked at your goals, it would actually calculate the projected amount of income that these would generate. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't.
No. Okay. So okay, we'll go one more time.
Okay.
This is, so marketers can project how much income a particular strategy will make. Okay.
Okay.
So if you have 100 people that download your prayer guide, and this is tracking the thank you page, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And let's say, we'll make it easy math. Let's say you discover that every single person on average gives $1 when they download this prayer guide. They come back and they donate $1. And so you're seeing this correlation. Every prayer guide I download, I get about $1, right? Now that doesn't mean that every single person donates $1. Maybe one person donates $10 and 9 people donate 0, but on average, you get about $1 per prayer guide. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So then, what we're, sorry, I was just getting lost a little bit.
Sorry.
So on average, you get $1 per prayer guide. And so what you can do is you can make the value here of the download worth $1 to you. So when it shows up and it says, hey, you got a conversion, it will also say that was worth $1. So it'll start doing math for you. So if you got 37 conversions, it'll say you made $37 because they're $1 per conversion. Same thing is true if, like, let's say everybody donates $10 per download. So if someone downloads the prayer guide and then statistically you average $10 donation, well, then you can say you downloaded 10 prayer guides and you've estimated to make $100.
Okay, let me quickly ask a question because I think I read in one of your articles, or is it a video, when you were talking about the lead magnets and really giving the content, I'm giving value to the people. Would you now recommend, because you're saying something about donation now, is it right to ask for donation inside the lead magnet?
Yes, absolutely.
I can, okay. Like in that seven days prayer guide, at the end of the book, I can say, if you are blessed, you can donate to us. Okay.
Yes, you can. And then the question is, Pastor, so we'll test anything, right? So here's, let me point out a difference in thinking. And this is something that Tim Ferriss, an author in business that I really like, he talks about the mindset behind doing this type of thing. So you're saying, should I put the donate in the downloadable, ebook? Yes, you should try it. Now, there's a difference in thinking. There is a ready, aim, fire approach, and there's a ready, fire, aim approach. Okay, so the ready, aim, fire approach is sort of like you are a sniper and you've got one bullet and you've got one shot. So what I don't want you to think is that you've got to make the perfect shot the first time. That doesn't really work. And not only that, that also makes people feel anxious. Oh gosh, if I don't put the right button in the right place, something's not going to, okay. So what you're going to do instead is you're going to ready, fire,
and then adjust.
Right. You got a machine gun And if you don't hit the target the first time, you're going to just roll it around and take a second shot as quick as you can. And you're going to get closer and closer and closer. And that's what real marketers do. So what I suggest is ready, fire, aim. Throw the donate button in that prayer guide. Maybe people feel connected enough to you and you do see donations rolling in.
Okay. Right? Now the second thing is this is Google Grant, even though yes, I work with my church as a pastor, you know, and but this the content are more or less my own, like the books. Now I'm the one creating them and everything. Now is there going to be any red flag, you know, because the donate for the church and the missions, yes, that one can go into the church account. Now can I put a donate that would for the books that will go into a personal account? Is that allowed?
So technically, I mean, I'll tell you the rules and I'll tell you, I'll give you the information and you decide. Technically, the Google grant is only for the supporting the nonprofit. Okay. So that's the technical rule. And if they were to discover that, you know, you were taking personal income, then yes, it could jeopardize your Google grant. Now, that said, Google isn't going around, to my knowledge, auditing personal accounts. And if you were to link, say, a personal Stripe account up to your book sales, then you probably wouldn't have any issues. However, that's not the intention behind the Google grant. So I leave that to you to decide what you want to do there. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's continue here. So moving backwards one here, hold on. So with the giving button in your downloadable content on your blogs, if people begin to download it, great. The first attempt worked, that first shot worked. If not, remove it, put something that requires less commitment, right? As a next step. And maybe it takes 5 steps to get to give. Maybe it only takes 3. But again, we want to discover what they expect their journey to be with your ministry. And they have to go through the full journey before they give. So you want to figure out what that is. So if it doesn't work, optimize, right? Okay, so we'll turn value off here. So we're going backwards all the way to where we started. Now we're just going to continue. We're going to click save. Okay, now there we go. So we have a prayer guide thank you page set up. Now, one thing I want to show you, click back on the prayer guide thank you. So this is done, okay? And go ahead and click on goal details and click edit. Yeah, just click on that. There you go. And then go down to verify this goal. Yeah, click on that. And sometimes this works for you, sometimes it won't. Now it says this goal would have a 0% conversion rate based on data from the last 7 days. Now, if this page and you knew this page had 100 people on it in the last 7 days, well, you know this isn't working and you need to fix the setup because it would have had but you just made this page and nobody's been on it. So so you wouldn't expect to have any conversion rate because there's been no one on it. So let's click save. Okay, so we have the goal set up. Now what I want.
How did the home page set itself up? We didn't do that.
I know, I have no idea. And what you can do actually is go over to the recording over there. Yep, recording and click off on that one. There you go. Okay, so now the only conversion that you're tracking right now on your site is the prayer guide thank you. Now you can make, I think, 14 of these in Google Ads. So I think over here at Clickmill, we have like 3 or 4. We track calendar, schedules, ebook, and ebook downloads, and that's basically it. So we have 2. Okay. So then let's click the home button in the top left-hand corner. There you go. Okay, so now we're back on the home page. And what I want you to do is I want you to go to real time. So scroll down a little bit there on the left side. You don't have to scroll down. There's a little clock and it says real time. 2 tabs down. Yep, there you go. So you're going to go there. And I want you to just click on let's go to conversions. So go all the way down to conversions. Now this is going to tell you in real time, just like you see all those people, it's going to tell you in real time when you have a conversion. Now we know that someone viewing this thank you page is going to count as a conversion. So we want to make sure it works. Okay. So let's go into your, back into your website. So yeah, the back end of your website. There you go. Now I want you to update this on the right-hand side blue button. Okay, there we go, just to make sure our changes are saved. And now I want you to go over and click View Page. So the little View button on Prayer Guide, thank you. Okay, now this should bring it up. Okay, now we're actually looking at the page. And let's go back over to Google Analytics. So we've loaded the page. Let's see if this worked. And you may refresh this. Yep, so there you go. So if you scroll down, go ahead and scroll down. Okay, this says right now we've got one person on Prayer Guide, thank you. Okay, now you can refresh and it'll actually show the bar there that pops up. Okay, so here we go. Scroll down there. And I don't know why it's not showing the bar, because usually it has that little thing that floats in here, but nevertheless, you can see that the goal Prayer Guide thank you has been triggered. And you'll know, see, so we're in conversions. So this only happens when a conversion is triggered. Okay.
Okay.
So then it looks like this is working. Let's go ahead and click on home. We're going to double check in one other spot. And I want you to scroll down to the bottom. Okay. And let's see goals. Scroll up just a little bit. Right there on the right side. Nope, go, yep, right there. Goals. And I want you to see it down at the bottom. It says last 7 days. See that? That does not include today. So we need to add today. So go to custom. The bottom. There you go. And I want you to include the 25th there. And then hit 18 again. There you go. And apply. There we go. And then maybe give it a second. Maybe it hasn't updated. So right now it's not showing us the conversion that just came in. Now it's very possible that that won't show up for an hour. However, it does appear that that is working. So you want to just come back in tomorrow and see if you see that goal registered here under Prayer Guide thank you. If you see it says 1, then it's functioning. Okay. Now that said, I want to go ahead and because I'm very confident that this will work fine. However, we want to now take this goal and we want to bring it into Google Ads. Okay, so Google Ads is tracking it every time someone comes into that page through the Google Ads. Okay, and this is we're setting up conversion tracking. So you just set up a conversion on your website. Now we want to take it to Google Ads. So one thing I want you to do is once you go down the bottom left to admin again, the little gear icon at the bottom there.
Yeah.
There you go. And my screen is a little behind, so I'm sorry if that's the case.
No problem.
In the middle column, I want you to go to Google Ads linking under product linking. There you go. Now, this is saying Google Ads linking, one account, linker. I want you, Google Ads, interesting. I want you to click on,
because actually there was a code sometimes ago that when I was setting up the G Suite that Google gave me to put inside a section of my website.
And that's fine. And that doesn't necessarily have to do with that, but that's actually a good thing because usually it's actually fairly cumbersome to set this account up. And it looks like it's already been set up because you've already got data coming in here. So that's really good. But anyway, go ahead and click on new link group. And we're going to link your Google Ads account. And there you go. It says 6592. So before you click on that, let's go ahead and look at your Google Ads account. So go ahead and click on that up at the top of the screen.
At the top of the screen.
Go into So
Sorry.
up in the tab, so actually go into
Oh,
your
okay.
Google Ads account
Okay.
and let's double check. That says 6592, and the end, if you look at the top right-hand corner, that is also 6592. Okay, so you're good. So let's go ahead and go back to analytics, check that. Yep, check on that. There you go. So that's the correct account. We just double checked, click continue. And default view. Okay, so that's all fine. Default Google Ads profile. Okay, so scroll down. We don't think we need to do anything with that. And you're going to click link accounts. So this linked your Google Analytics account to your Google Ads account, your grant account.
Okay.
And you can do multiple links if you have, say, a paid account and a grant account. So that's always a possibility. So go ahead and click done there.
Where is it done?
Bottom left-hand side.
Sorry, I'm having to move
the
various stuffs out of the way. Done.
There you go. So that's done. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to go over to Google Ads account. Yep. And now you're going to go to tools and settings in the upper right-hand corner, the wrench icon. And we're going to go down to linked accounts under setup. There you go. And you'll see an analytics icon that'll pop up here. There you go. Top left-hand side, it says Google Analytics. And you're going to click details on that. Right. And we're going to set that link up. Now this says Joy and Harvest, and the last 4 digits of that are 7586. So let's go ahead and go over to your analytics account and make sure that that's the right code. And if you go to the default Google Ads profile and click the down arrow, it's at the top left-hand side of your screen. Default Google. So click the home button at the top left-hand side. There you go. Just to make sure we're in the right spot. There we go. Okay. And then what I want you to do is I want you to click the download, okay, you see the Google Analytics icon in the top left-hand side?
Top left, yes, it is.
Right there. Now I want you to go right to the little, right there. Click on that. And now let's look here. 7586 is the number under joyandharvest.com, right? 7586 is the last 4 digits. So let's go ahead and go back to your Google Ads account. And this says 7586. So you're already linked to the right analytics account. Okay.
Okay.
So that's you only have to do that one time. So that's done. Okay. So let's go to tools and settings, that wrench again, and go to measurements, conversions. Okay. And once we're here, we are going to set up a conversion. So I want you to click plus conversion. So now we're going to go to import, because we're going to import it from Google Analytics, and you're going to click Google Analytics. And then you're going to continue. Oh, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead and click the X button. I forgot there's one thing we have to do. We actually have to refresh Google Ads before it will find it. Right there.
This?
The gray X, yes, correct. Okay, so let's refresh the page. There we go. Okay, now let's try again. Let's click conversions, plus conversion. Okay, and then import, and then Google Analytics, and continue. Okay, so it is possible that it will take like up to 24 to 48 hours for that to actually show up in here. So maybe at the beginning of our next call, we will go and we will try to do this again. It's possible that it's not working and we might have to do another test, but again, it takes 24 to 40 hours for that to really propagate through the system. So anyway, so next time we'll come in, we'll set up this conversion and we'll pull it from Google Analytics into your Google Ads. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So what kind of questions do you have? We've got about 9 minutes here left in this call. I'd be happy to answer any questions, but I think that really sets us up well to get things finished up probably in our next call. And
Yes.
I can give you homework as well.
Please, I look forward to the homework. I know I have to do the international, finish the campaign for the international.
Okay.
Then, but the question I have, because I want to also start on the various landing pages, you know.
Yes.
Okay, now the call to action. I did ask you one time about the email software, I mean, that one can use. And I think you mentioned
Mailchimp, I think we discussed.
no, it's not Mailchimp. You said another one. But what I want to ask, because what I'm trying to do is I just follow the pattern. Each time I go to Clickmill, it's very simple.
Yes.
You know, and I just want to follow that pattern.
Okay. And so what question are you asking specifically?
Yeah, the question is, are you, because that's one that I asked, that are you using a widget from your website back end, or you are using a third-party software? That's the question.
Great. For the email specifically.
Yes. Yes.
So right now I'm actually I have highly prioritized how our website comes across to users, because I want to get those signups. Now, the email system, I'm not 100%, it works, but I'm not 100% happy with it. So I don't know that I would tell you to do this for yourself. We're currently set up on a software called Zoho One. And that is the Zoho CRM, which is where it keeps all of the names of, and this might not work for you because you don't really have clients, but we have clients. And so all the data for the clients goes in there. There's a tool that helps you link the forms to the email lists and automatically transfers them over. So it's fairly complicated, and I'm not a big fan of the back end. Now, I did previously use HubSpot, and again, that's for businesses, and that is a customer relationship management platform. So that may be something.
HUBSPOT.
Yes, HubSpot. Now, I know that there are also CRMs that are made for churches. So you may look up you may look up church CRM. And that's probably, I forget the name. Let me just look real quick. Just looking here. Yeah, I don't know. I would do some research on church customer relationship management softwares. And I mean, I'm seeing a few, but none of them I've really heard of. Anyway.
But you did mention Mailchimp. Now, one can start with Mailchimp.
Yeah, and that's a free way to start. And the goal is to send emails, and it does that okay. One thing I'm not the biggest fan of with all of these email softwares is that there's always upsells. And it's not that there's just one or two packages. They have like 20 packages. If you want to do their marketing package, you only get this, this, and this. If you want to do their email super duper package, you only get. So it's kind of cumbersome, but I think HubSpot was the best CRM that I've used. And honestly, I haven't found, actually, I would say Active Campaign, if you ultimately have the budget, was an excellent tool. I use that a lot in the firm I previously worked with. So Active Campaign is an email tool, and it is a CRM. So I would definitely say, just based off my own experience, I would say that's a good one. Now, again, we don't typically set up email systems for churches, but I know that there are some that are made specifically for churches, and I just can't off the top of my head remember what they're called. So I do apologize.
Yeah, no problem. So between ops, I should choose between HubSpot and Active Campaign.
Active Campaign is very good. I would say if you have the option, do Active Campaign. It is very clean. It is very simple to use. And the pricing, there's only a couple pricing. I believe it's like 40 to 70 a month, something like that. So there you go. Active Campaign pricing. Yeah, there you go.
16 to about $17 in
oh, there you go. Okay, so Light. Yeah, so I think the packages that we primarily used were the larger ones, but either way, you can see there that they've got some options. This is business to consumer. And it says, how many contacts do you have? So if you go over and click on Light, maybe that highlights it. Nope. Okay. And so, yeah, you might poke around, but it looks like Light is going to give you somewhere around email to 500 people a month.
Okay, yeah. So maybe if one increases it.
There you go. So there you go. So that'll tell you. So if you've got less than 500 contacts, then you can start out at $7.50 a month. Okay.
Okay.
And that's a pretty good deal. An Active Campaign truly is a really great program. I really love that. So
let's see.
Once you get so large, they start doing custom plans.
Okay. All right.
So great product there. So I would suggest giving that a shot. That is something I've considered taking Clickmill over to quite a few times. I just haven't had time recently.
Okay, so, because the reason why I'm asking is this, which is, for instance, I don't know how the Google grant really is going to work. I mean, if the campaign really, is successful, the conversion rate, I mean, maybe in a matter of 6 months, I mean, one would already exhaust 500 people. I mean,
it's very possible.
Yeah. So, how do you cope with people just signing up?
What you have to do is you have to, this is getting into some pretty deep marketing stuff. What you have to do is you have to segment your lists. So for example, people downloading your free prayer guide, if you discover that it takes 3 months to warm up someone there to even begin getting donations, well, those are still pretty cold leads. They're not really that bought in, right? But let's say you have your donation list, right? People who actually went to your website and donated, those are people who are most likely to donate again, right? In business, they say the most likely person to buy a product is someone who's already bought your product.
Yeah.
So what I would do, again, if budget is an issue, which which again is completely understandable, you start with your highest priority contact list, which are people who are already taking the biggest actions, continue to meet their needs, and as you have the budget, expand it to colder and colder email lists. And this is the strategy that we are taking also. We've actually been building an email list, and we've got something like 30,000 pastors that have signed up, for different things. But again, the question is, do we want to pay, however many hundreds of dollars a month to send emails to that many contacts? And so we have been doing a lot of research to figure out how do we make sure that that's profitable. And again, how this works out for us and how this works out for you is, what's the buyer journey, right? What is the need that they need to have met, right? So I'm not going to be emailing these pastors saying, oh, hey, please come and do this, come and do that. No, it's, hey, I know you're having a hard time keeping volunteers. Here's how to do marketing, right? Here's how to keep your volunteers. I know you're having a hard time with giving. Let's talk about how to do appropriate calls to action. And I'm just going to give 100% value on the things that they need most. And it'll also say at the bottom, schedule a free consultation or read the whole article. So if they're like, wow, these guys, they really know what they're talking about, well, they can move forward if it meets their need. And so that's how you do it. And so we have spent a lot of time saying, what is the most effective process that gets ministry leaders involved? And we're just going to target those emails at getting them to take step one of that process. So that's how you make it worth the budget, because you know, obviously you can't lose money sending emails. That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
And a lot of organizations do. So I'd say target the people who have already given. And
Okay.
as you figure out what's effective for them, then target the next, you know, most motivated audience you have. So you may end up with, you know, 3 or 4 email lists, maybe 5 or 6, depending on how many lead magnets you end up with in your website. Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Getting to a lot of stuff in here. Now, let me give you homework here.
Okay.
So next step, you need to finish writing your international ads.
Okay.
You need to, now we already have the conversion set up. We may have to tweak it, but that's pretty much done. What you need to do is you need to go and add a little strip at the bottom of your page, just above the footer, that says download your free prayer guide. You need to throw, say, 7 really good, you know, they don't have to be super long, make a prayer guide that's a PDF.
Yeah.
And then upload that in there so they can download it. Okay. Again, you can use Clickmill as a template. Our website has a pretty good conversion rate. About 6%, 7% of people who come to our website ultimately take action on something, which is fairly high for at least my industry. So you can check that out. And yeah, so make that on your site, and then you're going to want to make sure you ask.
Is there any specific, sorry, please, any specific place or just under the download page before the footer? Is it where, I mean, where exactly do you want me to add that strip?
Right above.
Is it just on the, is it just on that, the book download page?
It should be on the bottom of every single page. So just put it site-wide.
Yep. All right.
So you're going to catch them everywhere. Okay. Now you can change that down the road, because people looking at your prayer guides, your prayer videos pages, they're going to be the most likely because they looked up how to pray or prayer for my birthday, right? Now, on your homepage, you might find out that people actually want something different, and you can try different things there. So you can, again, optimize over time.
Optimize, okay.
Right. But for now, you've got 1 lead magnet, so put it on every page because it's going to be better than nothing. So put it just above the footer there, and you're going to want to collect name and email. Okay. So you don't need phone numbers.
Name and email. Okay.
Now, you don't need phone numbers of people in Timbuktu, but if people were coming to your website to actually, like a local campaign like Church Near Me, then you would want to collect phone numbers because that's actually very relevant. Okay. But you don't need phone numbers of people in Africa. So that said, first name, last name, and email, you're going to collect that. When they click submit, you are then going to make sure it redirects them to the thank you page. Okay.
Okay.
And once you have that done, the advertising campaign, the Google grant, will essentially be finished. Okay. And we'll go in, and if all that's finished in our next call, then, you know, that'll be that. And we'll.
Hey, that's great. That's great.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. We're getting close. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. You have a wonderful day, Pastor.
Yeah. And you too, Brett. Thank you very much.
All right. God bless, Pastor.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.